2 days ago, I did a video that was absolutely throttled on this platform in which I talked about witness intimidation by that certain Aquaman starlet, in which one of JD's witnesses, also his really close friend, has his livelihood threatened, his career almost destroyed. Why? Because he wouldn't throw JD under the bus. Friendly media for that Aquaman starlet has attacked him repeatedly. They are salty because they couldn't destroy him the first time, so they're writing hit pieces yet again, trying to ruin his life because he was JD's friend. This is the same outlet, by the way, that ambushed Paul Bettany a month ago, wanted him to throw JD under the bus, and since Paul Bettany didn't grovel and ask their forgiveness, they got to try to cancel the man yet again. Yeah, you and we're going to talk about this today, and no wonder the media's on live support and continually begging you for that $1. Oh, fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. Oh man, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you are doing excellently. And the amazing thing about this article here is that it pretty much admits that people are getting canceled. It says, though, we're not doing that here. We're looking at this from a film company perspective while using this as a platform to again go after Paul Bettany. Why? Because they tried to get him to denounce JD a month ago. When he didn't do that, well, they tried to ruin him. Of course they did, and none of that took hold. You can see that right here. See, around a month ago, Paul Bettany was doing PR for a brand new movie, PR in which he talks about other people trying to cancel him in the past, and then the interviewer tries to cancel him with talks about JD, talks that are a problem, by the way. You can tell because the publicist with Bettany actually interrupts. They say, he has a way out, but does he really? I mean, these people, they're threatening his career. This is what he has to say, though, and it doesn't make these people happy. I think that's a really difficult subject to talk about. I think I just poured fuel on a fire. Although Bettany's publicist interrupts to offer him a way out, he forges on. What he will say on the subject is that having his private messages aired in public was a peculiar experience. For Bettany, it shattered his notions of privacy. For others, you like how they throw out the others because they're trying to ruin the man. The nastiness of the text shattered any preconceptions of the actor. Quote, "It was very strange. It was a strange moment," he says, halting again for what feels like an eternity. What was strange about it was you suddenly have one of the most scabrous newspapers in London. They're talking about The Sun, by the way, and their lawyers pouring through your text for the last 10 years. Can you imagine what it would be like, honestly, to have a bunch of lawyers go through every one of your emails and texts for the last 10 years. This is a good statement right here, too. Can you imagine what it would be like, honestly, to have a bunch of lawyers go through every one of your emails and texts for 10 years? All I can tell you was that it was an unpleasant feeling. Now, places like The Guardian, they didn't give you all of that context either. Oh, no. Basically, they take pieces or snippets of text messages, and they basically tell you, this guy right here, he should be let go from Hollywood. Disney, they need to get rid of him on the Vision, and when that didn't happen, they were not happy at all. You can tell just how angry places like The Guardian are too, because people, they're not listening to them anymore. People don't really care what they have to say. So what they do is they try to amp up the volume. They take aim at the film companies themselves, saying, hey, what's going to happen when your star is canceled, but you can't cancel your films? Basically saying, when we say something, you need to listen or else. And they try to link Paul Bettany to Armie Hammer, to Kevin Spacey, to Shia LaBeouf, and on again because he wouldn't denounce his friend. Now, just a note, I am skipping over the majority of this article, but I would suggest that you definitely check it out. Why? Because you can see how a hit piece comes together, how they use scandal, again, surrounding names like Armie Hammer, and some of the things that they talk about with Armie Hammer, we could never talk about on this platform. I mean, they are absolutely insane. That's the kind of stuff they try to link to Paul Bettany, but also, I mean, they throw in Kevin Spacey. I'm sure you know exactly what went on with Kevin Spacey. They throw in all of the stuff with Shia LaBeouf, all of the accusations about him, because again, if they do that, if they link all of this together, perhaps they can circle the wagons and perhaps they can get this guy canceled. Now look at how they approach Paul Bettany here. And this comes right after a discussion about Shia LaBeouf. They've talked about everything that he's been accused of. They talk about his denials in one sentence, and then they get to this. It can even be necessary to quietly sideline actors involved tangentially in another star's scandal, at least until the air clears. So they're saying, even though this guy, he didn't actually do anything, well, he's kind of connected to this scandal. He's kind of connected to JD because his name, it popped up in all of this. Therefore, it might be necessary to sideline him, at least until it clears, knowing that it would have pretty much destroyed the man. And they're trying for it. Some press interviews with Paul Bettany to promote the Amazon Studio drama Uncle Frank in late 2020 were withdrawn at the last moment to avoid questions about the dubious text between the actor and his friend JD, which had been made public during JD's unsuccessful attempts to sue the Sun newspaper for calling him let's say wife and rhymes with Walmart greeter. Now the next paragraph, especially the closing sentence to it, makes it very clear what they're trying to accomplish here. JD, he may have been replaced by Mads Mikkelsen in the third Fantastic Beasts movie and had his recent film Minamata offloaded by MGM on another distributor, but a claim for the Marvel series WandaVision seems to have successfully laundered Bettany's reputation. So, they're mad about it. You can tell right off the bat right here. They're mad because it didn't cancel two people in this. They were hoping for it. I mean, they tried really hard to get that going, but let's continue. He was even doing the publicity rounds again recently, accepting GQ's Boss Leading Man Award and complaining to one newspaper that it was a quote-unquote an unpleasant feeling to have his private correspondence read aloud in public. Now listen to this. I don't have it all on the screen here, but I want you to listen to how they take this. Maybe next time he might not join in with the banner of a chum who is fantasizing about, I'm going to use the word ending here, his ex. Just a thought. You can tell right there what they wanted to do to this man. They wanted to, again, end him. They didn't provide any context to it whatsoever. They figure you're not going to add any context to, never going to look into what happened. Yeah, this guy, he just sits around and he and his friends, they talk about ending somebody because that's totally how it went, right? Except. Yeah, no wonder their influence is falling off and they have to ask you for your dollar. And remember, these aren't YouTubers saying, hey, support my channel. This is a multimedia conglomerate watching its entire empire fall because people, they get tired of this business here. But anyway, let me know what you think about that. As always, too, appreciate you being here. You want to check out the links in the description, help out the channel. They definitely help. Check them out. So thank you. You being here, though, that matters. So thank you again. Appreciate you. And I'm going to end here. Thank you. See you soon.